You and I are about to view true stories caught on cheaters' surveillance cameras, documenting the sheer heartbreak of a lover shattered by infidelity. This show is dedicated to the faithful, presented right to the false-hearted, to force a harsh renewal of temperance and virtue. Coming up on this explosive episode of Cheaters. And this guy, picking her up. Hey, Carmen, what is up, man? Peter Pan. What are you gonna do? What the hell are you talking about? Raw reality television. Brought to you by the relentless private eyes at Cheaters Detective Agency. Host Peter Pankey is back on the scene with another absolutely fiery episode of Cheaters. Enter Byron Tutt, a man terrified his lady is hiding the truth about her activities. Whenever he leaves town, ready to stop the speculation, Byron hired the Cheaters team to dig deep. He and Carmen first met at a party introduced by a mutual friend of theirs. It was all thanks to his buddy. And the second he was introduced to Carmen, their romance just totally took off. They kicked things off really well. Back then, he wasn't working the oil fields. He was just flipping burgers at Whataburger. Working those night shifts meant the guy had all the free time in the world. So Byron dedicated all his days to her. But past the 2-year mark, things got rocky. Carmen started demanding way more from him. She craved more attention, more money, just more everything. So he finally decided to just let her move into his crib. Once she settled in life, for the couple seemed perfect for those first few months. Everything felt completely right between the two. They were kicking it totally in love. But then Byron landed a brand new job. This is where you and I watch everything go south. Carmen Santiago, age 25, a credit repair specialist, suspected of helping clients increase way more than their financial scores. Armed with orders from HQ cheaters, private investigators stake out the client's local residence. A few hours into the investigation, detectives spot an unfamiliar vehicle idling outside the apartment. Moments later, Carmen Santiago exits and struts straight toward the awaiting automobile. A mysterious male figure materializes and magically opens the passenger door for Santiago. Agents tail the twosome a few miles down the road to a local daiquiri joint. Once inside, Santiago and her unidentified male companion brace for their frosty, frozen cocktails. By cuddling up close to stay warm, suitably heated up, the duo grabs their portable drinks straight from the busy bar. Santiago strips down to spaghetti straps. Things get caliente as the couple downs their concoctions. Doing their part for global warming, the duo finally exits into the cold reality outside. Following a brief pursuit, the pair returns to the suspect's home, sharing one very last climate-changing cuddle before finally parting ways. You and I both know Carmen was never a razor girl. She preferred using Nair. It felt incredibly weird for Byron to find that razor. It was sitting right in the trash, and he knew Carmen never used that kind. Leaving the hair on the blade, he brought it to her and shoved it right in her face. He demanded to know exactly what he was looking at. He asked her when the hell she started using it. Her only excuse was that he hadn't been around. Every time he pressed her, she just deflected, blaming him for always being away. She claimed his absence simply forced her to change her shaving habits. You and I are going to watch the gumshoes stake out the couple's humble abode. A few hours into the shift, investigators spot a familiar target. He pulls up and approaches the apartment. Hidden cameras catch Carmen opening the door for him, a guy now identified as Byron's best friend, Amari Davis. Caught up in the moment, the cheating pair recreate a classic movie romance. Their intimate antics escalate quickly. Carmen leads her guest upstairs to take things up a notch. After staking his claim, Davis and his conquered catch make their way back downstairs. Carmen casually sends him off into the dark night. Byron blamed her entirely, since he had warned her from the jump. He had told her to just be honest if she wanted to see someone else. That way, nobody would end up getting hurt at the end of the day. He warned her that sneaking around behind his back while they were together would only turn him into an absolute monster. The undercover operatives sit tight for several hours. Eventually, they notice Davis rolling back up to the house. Inside cameras catch Carmen greeting him, clearly dressed for success. With her assets fully exposed, She eagerly gets to work on his private sector. Davis carries her upstairs to check out her bottom line. Listening to the bedroom audio detectives have 2 words for Byron. Buyer beware. Their dirty deal is sealed. Carmen escorts her shady side piece outside. With that final nail in the coffin, let's head back to headquarters to review the evidence. After the break, the dramatic confrontation. Armed with conclusive evidence of Carmen's betrayal, producers contact Byron to reveal everything. With a heavy heart, the poor guy braces for rock bottom. He asked, "Byron, what's up?" Byron mumbled, "I'm all right. Doing the best you can right now, I'm sure." He asked. "I'm trying," Byron replied. The host explained, "You reached out to our show. You contacted us because you had some serious suspicions." He noted. He continued, "You thought she was stepping out on you," he added. He warned, "I have footage to show you. I just need to know if you're ready to see it," he said. "I really think you should," he pointed. "We were parked outside your house during the investigation. Is that the car?" Byron confirmed. "That is the car. They pulled up right in this spot." He recognized his very own street. He stared, begging the host to rewind the tape just a little bit. The investigator paused the video so the devastated boyfriend could get a closer look. Pure shock washed over his face instantly. He panicked, praying the man on screen was not Amari. He could not believe it. That simply could not be his best friend Amari. They let the footage keep rolling. He watched his best friend pull his girl close. He was devastated. That guy was supposed to be his true brother. He wore his friend's brand, suddenly realizing his girl was actively stepping out on him. She was sleeping with his business partner. The heavy embrace on screen made it horribly obvious. The investigator quietly agreed. That long embrace was undeniably way too close for any innocent comfort. Let's review the footage the team gathered right outside his very own house. The so-called friend visited daily, sneaking over whenever the boyfriend was out of the house. Hidden cameras captured the inside. Amari walked right through the door, bold as he could be. Amari poured them both a drink. The video slowed down just as the two shared a passionate kiss. Then they played a recorded phone call to see if he remembered the conversation. He asked what she was doing. She lied about hanging with Tiana. He asked if she was busy. She quickly insisted she was completely free to chat. He sounded very hesitant on the phone. He wondered if she could find a quiet room away from her supposed female friend. Stalling. She told him to wait a second while she walked upstairs to talk privately. He gently pushed her to speak. He apologized for interrupting what he thought was just some innocent girl time. He trailed off quietly. Giving up, he finally decided it was better to just call her back later. She played the innocent girlfriend perfectly. He insisted on ending the call and trying again later. He mentioned he had to return to work anyway. She happily said her goodbyes. Hearing it now, he realized they had played him for an absolute total fool while they were making out upstairs. Fast forward to another surveillance day. The betrayer strolled right back into that house, acting like he owned the place. He knew the boyfriend was working offshore, and the girlfriend was wearing something incredibly revealing this time. Things escalated quickly. This time, they skipped the cheap drinks and went straight upstairs. There was zero talking. Later, the friend walked out with a very familiar swagger. He looked incredibly happy and very light-footed. He hopped into his getaway car. He drove away. Watching this, the betrayed boyfriend was ready to speed over and fight. He felt it was past talking. He was fully prepared for violence, totally ignoring the consequences of a direct confrontation. You and I know what happens next. The investigator begged him to stay completely calm despite the betrayal. Today, you and I are watching a messy cheating scandal unfold. He desperately wanted to throw punches instead. They were just there for answers. The security team warned him not to risk jail time. The devastated boyfriend couldn't wait to see the shocked look on her face. The tense confrontation quickly kicked off. He started demanding to know exactly what the hell his former best friend was doing. The betrayed man just kept screaming, asking what they were doing. Profanities flew everywhere, as the two angry men screamed at each other to shut up. He furiously demanded an explanation for this. A shoving match ensued, with both guys angrily yelling to step back and stop talking. The unfaithful couple was interrupted right during their romantic date. The other guy proudly claimed she left because he was never around anyway. He fired right back, insisting that the girl came to him first, telling his former buddy to shut up. The intense hostility peaked as they repeatedly challenged each other to a fight. Both grown men kept chest-bumping aggressively, asking what the other wanted to do. Tensions completely boiled over as the shoving and physical threats rapidly escalated. She bluntly confessed she was done. She asked how she could leave someone with such an aggressive temper. "Stick with me here," the host pointed out the ultimate betrayal. This guy was actually sleeping with his buddy's girl. She weakly defended herself, claiming her actual boyfriend just worked too much and vanished entirely. The new lover chimed in, claiming the boyfriend was never present. The chaotic conclusion rapidly approached. He questioned her ridiculous, wild excuses. The angry boyfriend turned his complete focus onto his cheating girlfriend, Carmen. He loudly mocked his former friend, demanding real answers. More violent shoving followed, as the new guy reminded him she was gone. The host intervened. Unbelievable. The crew reminded him that she showed absolutely zero genuine remorse. She casually shrugged the whole situation off, claiming she was definitely going to tell him eventually. The host advised the heartbroken man to just leave, instead of further embarrassing himself. He demanded the camera operators back off. Pure total chaos. Vicious insults flew as the boyfriend snapped. The host quickly stepped in, warning the devastated victim to keep his hands to himself and avoid stupid physical violence. The heartbroken man hurled vicious names at her out of sheer, absolute, angry desperation. He kept furiously cursing her out until the new boyfriend angrily defended her compromised honor. She snapped right back, confirming there was absolutely no future for them. He declared they both belonged to the streets, officially ending the friendship and the romantic relationship right there. He completely renounced his former buddy, making the permanent split painfully official. He was finally done with her lies, tossing her right back to the streets. He told them both to kick rocks and leave permanently. When pressed about hiding the nasty affair, she weakly claimed there was simply no easy way to confess such a massive, heartbreaking betrayal. She was completely annoyed, loudly complaining he should have been at his job instead of ambushing her with a camera crew today. "So what do you think? He worked, she cheated. You and I are jumping right into the chaos," as she swore she ignored his calls. She desperately insisted she was just trying to figure out the gentlest way to tell him. She wanted to break the news without hurting his feelings. She claimed the new guy actually showed her love and offered support, but he refused to listen. Her boyfriend thought the other guy was completely foul, pointing out how wrong the betrayal was. He agreed the whole situation was absolutely foul and disrespectful. The problem was that she never actually told him. She was caught sleeping with his own close friend. She really crossed the line. The confrontation was quickly turning physically aggressive. The crew demanded everyone hold on and explain themselves clearly. The side piece was acting hostile. She defended the new guy's aggression, claiming she deeply loved and cared for him now. The betrayed man cursed his former friend, calling him a dirty dog for getting so aggressive. He realized he had to walk away, declaring he was completely done with his cheating girlfriend. He screamed that he was done with both of them, telling his ex-buddy to shut up. The other man challenged him right back, asking what he was actually going to do. He dared him to act. The tension completely exploded. He demanded a quick moment to talk. He wanted to speak to the guy, man to man, away from everyone else. "We can all agree this is wild." He insisted on a private chat between just them. That was the bitter reality. With plenty of single women around, he couldn't believe his friend chased his specific girl. He questioned why his buddy crossed that ultimate loyalty line. She claimed he was absent. The friend weakly argued that she approached him first instead. Their so-called brotherhood was completely shattered right there. The crew asked her condition. He still had plenty of furious words left. She offered a weak apology, insisting she never actually intended to hurt his feelings. He told her she was clueless. He furiously questioned her fake sympathy. She understood absolutely nothing. The television host finally stepped in, noting that he usually preferred not to take any sides. He reminded the screaming group that he was just there doing his job as host. But the host pointed out that betraying a close friend was an unforgivable moral violation. That was where he felt the real betrayal happened. Ultimately, as you and I can see, the host left it up to them to fix their own messy drama. The host admitted there was really nothing left for him to say. The betrayed boyfriend noted the entire humiliating incident was fully captured on the show's cameras. Now that her deceit was filmed, he smugly predicted she would never find another gullible guy. He laughed at the insanity, satisfied he had finally exposed her toxic behavior. She sarcastically accepted the insult, declaring she would just have to embrace that awful reputation. She showed zero shame, screaming that if she was a cheater, she would proudly be one with him instead. She taunted the victim, saying he rejected her. She warned that he would just play her next. She warned him not to call her phone in 2 months when he finally figures out who he wants to be with. The suspect just shrugged, claiming he was perfectly fine. He bragged about having endless cash. She told him to take his money and leave for good. She called him a dirty dog, declaring it was completely over. The suspect claimed he just wanted to grab a drink. He demanded they get the surveillance cameras out of his face. The host noted their complete lack of remorse during the messy confrontation. The host advised leaving. Meanwhile, the suspect furiously demanded to know how the crew got hidden cameras inside the house. He kept shouting, demanding to know how they pulled off the secret surveillance. He tried to claim control, insisting that it was his own property. He ordered them to take her home, screaming that nobody dictates his actions. The other man claimed he was just supporting the business. He repeated his weak excuse about merely helping the company. The host ignored him, urging the victim to get inside the vehicle. He called the entire situation trash. The host sighed. He mumbled an apology. You and I can see how hard this ruthless betrayal is. Zero remorse, the host sadly observed. The victim realized this just gave him time to prepare. He admitted that the situation gave him time to gather himself. The host encouraged him to stay positive, suggesting they start by packing up all his belongings immediately. He agreed completely. They agreed to kick her out of the house and let her go. Let's dig into a shocking old case from the television archives. During the interview, she explained how she lost control of her anger and overwhelming emotions that night. She described the intense feelings hitting her all at once. After that brutal confrontation, life as Byron knew it completely stopped. Later on, the investigation reveals his shocking next move. But right now, the series presents April Gomez. She is a former client, updating everyone on her life since that explosive night. She confessed that she blacked out and only saw red. She completely lost her mind after dedicating so many years to him. The ultimate betrayal was discovering he was cheating on her with her own best friend. She admitted that the shock broke her completely. The insults kept flying. The suspect gasped in utter disbelief. He panicked, asking what was happening. Chaos! He begged her, but she ordered him to stop calling. We all know it is exactly what it looks like. He swore it wasn't what it seemed. He just kept screaming, no. He desperately claimed they were just playing some pool. She screamed at him to stop lying. Nobody was just playing pool in that room. She demanded to know the truth. He just kept begging her to please listen to his frantic excuses. She just yelled, stop. She demanded to know what he was doing. She faced the ultimate relationship betrayal. It was her childhood best friend of many years. Losing a lifelong friend completely destroyed her ability to ever trust anyone again. The situation left her feeling incredibly broken. She felt deeply frustrated. Her former friend simply refused to see her point of view. The other woman acted like cheating was totally fine, which she found absolutely horrifying and cruel. She could not understand how any decent human could justify that terrible behavior. She believed Derek honestly had no clue what to do in the fallout, so he poorly managed the entire chaotic cheating situation. She never understood the massive betrayal, or how those two could actually continue dating after that highly emotional confrontation. He coldly claimed it was no mistake, just a relationship running its course. He insisted things simply ended naturally, leaving everyone baffled by his incredibly weak excuses and logic. Everyone was stunned. Let's pause. What does running its course even mean here? The victim just desperately wanted the painful truth right then. Heartbreaking. She eventually heard some rumors. Months later, news broke about Derek and Susan staying together. Unsurprisingly, Derek ended up cheating on Susan too, which shocked absolutely nobody. She felt those cheaters deserved each other. Thankfully, her brand new romance is a total breath of fresh air today. They balance their busy schedules perfectly while making real, genuine quality time for one another. They are taking things incredibly slow, genuinely getting to know each other, without any toxic drama. That steady pace helps them easily avoid major miscommunication or any unnecessary relationship issues. They actually communicate and work through their issues together like responsible, mature adults. Pessimistic about love. Byron Tutt concedes it is best to end things entirely. Byron stated his girlfriend sleeping with his buddy was a massive betrayal of biblical proportions. Moving forward, Byron plans to stay single for a while and entirely focus on his career. But according to Carmen Santiago, Byron ruined their bond by traveling constantly and treating her like an absolute child, especially concerning their shared finances. You might wonder who's right. Carmen claims his neglect pushed her toward Davis, making stopping impossible. Amari admits he did Byron incredibly dirty, but insists his deep connection with Carmen is undeniably real. You and I both know, if you skip your programming from Goldstein's, we are both losing money.